Alright, so we just got the new Animus Areal's information. They posted it on Twitter, they didn't post it on Discord, they didn't do any announcements, so you had to follow them on Twitter to see this information. Maybe by the time I upload this video, the information would be up on Discord. But as we all knew, she was going to be this Oda. We know from the preview videos that we got prior. She is a healer. We knew she was going to be a support. We will have to wait for the actual numbers to come out. I think in 2 days. It's one day before the banners leave, so I'm not sure when the banners will leave, but we will get it soon. We'll get the in-game numbers soon. But usually we can make out how good a character will be approximately just from this information without even having to look at the numbers. Sometimes the numbers do matter a lot, but she's a healer, so let's just see what she does, whether she will be a cleanser, a pure healer, or just, some different type of support. So, Areal is a support type Animus whose healing can provide additional buffs when it lands a crit. Okay, like Dorothy. I think Dorothy does something when she lands a crit, or like she cleanses when she lands a crit, as far as I'm aware. Converting sustain into offensive resources and giving her team more ways to secure victory. Okay. This is the character. The recommended shell is Bloodshed, which is Bloodbath. This is the Bloodbath symbol. Swift Rush and Evil Guard. Alright. And this is the data. Let me just make sure that it is clear in the video. I can zoom in a little bit. It should be fine. How do I... Okay, this is fine. Actually, I think it would be better if I do this. And I can zoom in here. Well, it's the same thing, basically. Alright. Well, let's start with the passive, because I'm not going to read her skills without looking at the passive. Passive seems to be in the S1. The S2 seems to be a skill. So, deals damage, Flora Offering, deals damage to a single enemy and heals the ally with the lowest HP percentage for an amount based on a portion of the target's max HP. The target's max HP, so she's not going to be HP-based healer like Fiamelia. That's good. So you're not gonna have to have. It's not. She's not gonna be another character that you need HP on her, because every character in this goddamn game needs HP percentage. So this is good. Exclusive passive, Botanical Awakening. Healing caused by Areal's anime skills can crit. I'm assuming based off crit rate, is what I'm assuming. On a crit heal, applies 1 stack of glint seed to the target. So every time she heals, she has a chance. So if you have 100% crit, she will always land this, I'm assuming. 1 stack of glint seed to the target. Additionally, damage taken by Areal is further reduced based on her crit rate. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Damage taken is reduced. So she has damage reduction based off her crit rate. Maybe like... It's not going to be 50% of her crit rate, because if you have 100%, she's going to take like 50% less damage. And I'm assuming there's going to be a cap, because if there is no cap, you can build like 200 crit rate, and it will get converted to 100%, hypothetically, if it's like 50%, but I'm assuming there has to be a cap. This is another case where we have to look at the numbers. Also, sometimes the kit does change from this poster. To when it comes out in the actual game, so keep that in mind. This is Glint Seed. There's another passive. Prismatic Corolla. Okay. Prismatic Corolla. Greatly increases attack. Wait, we didn't even read the first passive. Oh, there's 3 passives. Botanical Awakening, Glint Seed, and... Okay, she has 3 passives. It applies 1 stack of Glint Seed. This is Glint Seed, so it explains what Glint Seed is. Right. Each stack increases attack, defense, and speed by a certain amount up to 3 stacks. So if she heals 3 times, you basically maximize the 3 stacks. You get a lot of attack, a lot of defense, a lot of speed, and no HP. You don't get max HP bonus. Okay, just attack and defense and speed. So she's gonna be good with Acel, Juan Chi, Juan Li, and anyone that needs speed really. This effect cannot be dispelled. That's good. Upon reaching the maximum stacks, it transforms into Prismatic Corolla for several turns. It's not permanent. It's turn-based. So it's all one passive. You get this buff and then it converts to another buff. So it's all just one passive. Prismatic Corolla greatly increases attack, defense, and speed. This is greatly, so it's going to be even more of a boost. During this effect, Glint Seed cannot be applied. This effect cannot be dispelled or have its duration modified. So it's going to be for several turns, and then you cannot increase the duration that you will have it for. So it's not going to be 100% uptime. I'm assuming it's going to be like 80% or 90% uptime because she applies it. She applies Glint Seed every time she heals, and she heals even on S1. I'm assuming all her skills are going to heal. So this looks pretty decent. Gives attack, defense, and speed boost to your team. Greatly increases attack, defense. Depends on the number. Depends on what greatly means. This might be broken. Let's see. Skill 2. Heals all allies for an amount based on a portion of each target's max HP and applies crit damage up. This is insane. On a crit heal, applies Soul Word to all allies. So let's just say, for the sake of it, everyone's going to have her at 100% crit rate because of the passive. We get damage reduction, and she crits on every heal. Let me actually see. Healing cause. Does that mean that if you crit, you get more healing and you get Glint Seed? Is that what it means? Is that what a crit heal is? You get more healing? I'm going to assume that you get more healing if you crit. If you have like 200 crit damage, you're going to get twice the heal. I think that would be fair to assume, unless I'm proving wrong. Because otherwise, crit heals just mean you get Glint Seed, and on S2 you get Soul Word. Soul Word is the Veronica buff where you cannot die for like the duration of the buff. Unless Ray S1 or Nathan S2, but otherwise you're basically immortal. Okay, so crit damage up, which means she will heal for more if my theory is correct, that the crit heal does increase based on your crit damage. And she's going to increase the damage of your allies as well. So S2 is pretty good. I'm assuming it's going to be a 3-turn cooldown. Actually, a 3-turn cooldown on a Soul Word might be too low. I think it's going to be 4-turn cool. It might be 3-turn because like their logic is we have Nathan that executes, we have Ray that executes, and we have a lot of dispellers because Soul Word can be dispelled, so they might think that it's not strong. But I'm going to assume it's a 4-turn cooldown or higher. Let's see the ultimate. There is an exclusive effect on the ultimate as well. What? She has like holy passive. Alright. Heals all allies for an amount based on a portion of each target's max HP. AoE healing again. The S1 is a single target heal. But you gotta remember she can crit on the heals, which means that she can probably heal for a shit ton. Increases all allies' turn meter and grants an additional turn meter increase when overhealing occurs. So I'm assuming there will be a lot of overhealing happening because she can crit on her heals, which means that she will be healing a lot. So let's just assume that she will get the full effect almost every time. So she can be probably an opener. Depends on how high the turn meter push is. Also applies Purifying Shroud to self. At the start of battle, immediately applies Purifying Shroud to self. She will have Purifying Shroud when the battle starts, and when she S3s, she will have another turn of Purifying Shroud. I'm going to assume, I'm going to go out on a whim and say this is 5-turn cooldown, this is 4-turn cooldown, or they're both 4-turn cooldown. Or they're both 5-turn cooldown, which would be balanced, I think. Or maybe it would be too much, I'm not sure. Let's see what Purifying Shroud is. While this effect lasts, whenever an ally loses HP, all allies gain turn meter equal to a certain percentage of that amount. So if you are getting cleaved, right, everyone is going to get a turn meter boost based on the HP that you lose. So you're going to cut any cleaver, essentially. So she's anti-cleave, right? Additionally, At the start of an ally's turn, purifies a certain number of their debuffs and heals them for a portion of their max HP. This is for as long as she has Purifying Shroud. Every time one of your allies move, they will get healed and they'll get purified. And they'll gain turn meter if they are hit. No, all your allies get turn meter. 10% of that amount. So if one ally gets hit, whenever an ally loses HP, all allies gain turn meter equal to a certain percentage of that amount. Additionally, at the start of an ally's turn, purifies a certain number of their debuffs and heals them for a portion of their max. If she applies Purifying Shroud to herself for multiple turns, that will be insane. Also, it doesn't say it cannot be dispelled, so that's good. So you can probably dispel this, or like buff block it. I'm assuming you can buff block even the Glint Seed, unless it's gold. It's a gold buff. It doesn't mention it though. It says it cannot be dispelled, but actually even the like the Tiamat type buffs cannot be buff blocked as well. I think that was a change that happened like early on in the game. I think so, I'm not sure. Buff block is such a weak debuff nowadays. It's good against like Valerian and John Lee, but like everyone has a gold buff nowadays. So she's anti-cleave, she's anti-CC. Every time you get hit, everyone pushes. I'm going to go out on a whim and say the only way that you can counter her is by dispelling this buff, because if you leave this buff on her, you cannot do anything to her. You cannot cleave, you cannot CC. Is she the best unit in the game? Well, this effect lasts whenever an ally uses HP. It doesn't say it cannot be dispelled. And it doesn't say whether it's a gold buff or not. So she looks pretty insane. We're gonna have to wait for the actual in-game numbers and whether it's gold, whether like the Glint Seed, the Prismatic, the Purifying Shroud are gold buffs or not. She's interesting. Also, I forgot to mention this, but because she's a crit-based healer, people might be incentivized to go for P2 for the crit rate up for the 8% crit, unless they put it on P4, which would be pretty smart of them. Everyone was assuming, yeah, it's a new support, let's go. It's P0 unit. All of a sudden, you need her P2 for the crit rate to make her actually work at like her max potential. If you can hit 100 without it, then that's fine. But even if you can, getting that 8% just allows you to put more speed on her. But she doesn't seem like she needs speed to begin with, because every time she's hit, or anyone is hit, she just pushes everyone up. She's going to be a permaban alongside Nathan, for sure. Her and Nathan are going to be permabans. Well, that's a pretty interesting unit. So I'll be waiting for the actual in-game release, and I'll be making another video. But so far, she seems like she might overthrow Nathan for being the best unit in the game, potentially, or she might just be like a top 3 unit. She looks pretty fucking insane. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm just gonna wait for the actual in-game release. And yeah, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.